What's good, y'all? I want to speak on love, at least for this video and maybe the next one, because I feel like love is something that we all say or we're familiar with, but some people truly don't know what it is for real. And then that leads to people running around loving people their own way instead of the way they were truly meant to be loved. Myself included, I've done that. I ain't perfect. Love isn't a feeling that you have, it's a decision that you make. So you decide who you love. And I feel like people with good hearts or good intentions that love hard get burnt, or the way they love may change when they start being affected or being around people who love in a twisted way. I believe if we learn how to love people the way that they were intended, I believe that's the key to unlocking better relationships with the people that's around us, as well as people that we may meet in the future. Because we all were put on this earth for each other. We are to pour into each other's cup. I'm going to be reading 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and we're going to start at verse 4. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable. It keeps no record of being wronged. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. Love also does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. To me, that means when your friends see you messing up, they just not sitting around condoning it. I think that's fair. I don't think any of us want yes men or yes people around us condoning us when we know we messing up. And there's nothing wrong with separating yourself from people. I used to hate the fact that I moved to a whole nother state. Then I ended up coming back here. But really, it was a blessing in disguise. Being able to be on your own and loving yourself truly first before you start going out loving people, I think is the key to really loving people, or finding out how to love people the way that they was intended to be loved. Because if you don't know how you want to be loved, or what it takes to love you, how you going to be able to express that to other people? Understand that nowhere in those previous verses did any of those descriptions have a selfish undertone or anything selfish behind it. It's more selfless than anything. Now, this verse, I'll put it at the top. It says, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. So a friend's gonna love you even when you messing up. They're gonna love you no matter what. Brother is literally put there for you when you go through hard times. That's what a brother is there for. Not necessarily to hang with you all the time. They're not there for you to just kick it with or waste time with. When you are going through a storm, they're there for you to call on. You know they got your back. Likewise, you got their back whenever they going through something. Think about the friends or the people that you had in your life, or the family members you have in your life. I think it's natural that we all grow and change. People may only know how to interact with previous versions of you, so they may try to drag versions of you out. Them not being able to accept new versions of you could show you that it's not love there, that they just loved the experience that you gave them. This, when I say friends, family, this is just people around you in general that have access to you. Some more wisdom from Proverbs. This is Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17. As iron sharpens iron, a friend sharpens a friend. Your friends are supposed to be on their P's and Q's to a point to where it's gonna make you wanna get on your P's and Q's. They supposed to be grinding to a point, not to where you're jealous, but just so you know that, oh, it's more than I can tap into, it's more than I can do. They getting blessed. My blessings are on the way too. Not from a jealous place though. They should also have the ability to check you. So it's like when you're wrong, you need people around you who has the ability to say, hey, you messing up right now. I need you to get back on your... God help me. You need to get back on your grind, bro. Or sis. Now, if this is not the case, that ain't real friends. They ain't sharpening you. They making you dull. If you ain't got nobody around you, or if you know people that never challenge you, where they just see you messing up, or they know that you said that you was gonna do something, and instead of challenging you or pushing you to become a better version of yourself, they rather waste away or waste time with you, or or if they themselves aren't even challenging themselves to become a better version of themselves. If the only time that you hear from people around you is to waste time or to sin or to just have fun, be unproductive, that could be a sign that it's twisted love there, that it's not real love that you're being given. They may just enjoy company. It may not matter who it is that's around them doing the activity. They just want somebody around them to do the activity with. When I say push, I don't necessarily mean like being on your head. I mean more as at least asking, seeing, checking up on you, have at least some care or concern there. We for sure need to pick our friends wisely, because I know some people love, when they love hard, or they love genuinely. Those be the people that be around wrong people and get burnt. You don't need people around you that's not gonna feed your spirit or cause you to grow. If it's people around you that's only hindering you or doing things that kills your spirit, stay far away from them. Or don't believe in you. Like if you tell a friend that you want to do something and you're optimistic about it, they should be just as optimistic, if not more optimistic, for you or with you than you are. If you got friends that when you say you want to do stuff, or you come with goals and stuff, and they crack jokes, although jokes are taken lightly, there's always a small truth there. So if you come in with good news and then they crack a joke and it's low key some hate there, but they play it off as a joke, watch out for that. Because when you're growing, I feel like it's best to separate yourself from people. Don't let your light be dimmed trying to conform to other people. I want us to be careful when it comes to when we see wrongs in our friends and we want to talk about it or judge it or correct it. Be careful not to judge. Matthew verse 7 talks about, do not judge others, and you will not be judged, for you will be treated as you treat others. The standard you use in judging is the standard in which you will be judged. And the example that they use is in verse 3. Why worry about the speck in your friend's eye when you have a log in your own? How can you think of saying to your friend, let me help get rid of this speck in your eye, when you can't see past the log in your own eye? Hypocrite, first get rid of the log in your own eye, then you will see well enough to deal with the speck in your friend's eye. Before you come to people and you want to check them about smoking or anything, sex or anything like that, you gotta use those same measures on yourself first. You don't want to be a false teacher or a false prophet preaching something that you don't do yourself. Like, let's say one of your friends is getting out of shape. You want to talk about their eating habits. Before you come to anybody and talk to them about their eating habits or they're in shape, you might want to look at yourself first. Are you taking care of your body? Are you in shape? Are you eating well? If you're doing that, because whatever they're dealing with is hard, you'll then have insight to come to them and tell them or give them better help when it comes to getting out of their situation, if they want it. If they don't, they don't. But if you have a log, if your friend has a splinter and you have a log, you feel me? Deal with your log first. Don't worry about other people's stuff before you tackle the stuff that you're dealing with. Now, 1 Corinthians chapter 5 is speaking on people that you should not associate with. Some context. Before this verse that's highlighted, he mentions that he's not talking about unbelievers, because typically you're not going to be having unbelievers as close friends to you as a Christian. He goes on to say, but I wasn't talking about unbelievers who indulge in sexual sin or are greedy or cheat people or worship idols, or you would have to leave this world to avoid people like that. He goes on to say, I meant that you are not to associate with anyone who claims to be a believer. Believer here is the Greek word for brother. Don't associate with anyone who claims to be a brother, yet indulges in sexual sin, or is greedy, or worships idols, or is abusive, or is a drunkard, or cheats people. Don't even eat with such people. With you being a Christian, people around you are going to know that. You condoning such behavior is going to make it seem to them that it's okay to do such things. On the contrary, them doing those type of things around you may also influence you. If you're trying to find you a wife and you got people around you that are openly having sex with people, the way that they talk may influence your decision making or may influence what you do. You may slip up and end up doing something. If people around you drink, shoot, thinking about it, beyond this, if people around you are cussing, it's more likely or easier for you to cuss or a curse word to slip out, even if you don't normally do it, if you're hanging around people like that. Now take it a step beyond that. The different things that's listed here can also affect you and cause you to sin unknowingly. And you are the greatest project you'll ever work on, so you need to be worrying about your temple and yourself first. Remember in the other verse, it told us not to judge unbelievers. We do this with believers because if you call yourself a Christian and you're out doing these things openly, you're giving Christ a bad name. So we have to disassociate with people that do stuff like that to give them realization and they're wrong. Now, when it comes to checking people around you, or when you see that your brother is sinning, or somebody that you know, brother, family member, anybody, and you come and tell them something, you may want to reference this verse. I'll put it somewhere on the screen. But moreover, if a brother sins against you, go and tell him his faults between you and him alone, not around a bunch of people. You're not trying to throw him on the spot, no matter if he harmed you in a way publicly. You're not trying to do the same, but you want to tell him one-on-one. If he hears you, you've gained your brother back. I ain't saying you gotta be on complete loner time, but if you got people that you, especially day ones, or people that you just used to kick it every day with, and you just start noticing things, when you bring it to their attention, the offenses or the things that you see that you want to change, I guarantee you, if it's love there, you're not gonna necessarily speak on it on the first offense. Or maybe you do. But when you bring it up to them, how they react is going to be the key indicator to see where they are in their life at the moment. Are they mature enough to accept? Are they humble enough to see that they could be wrong and then change? Changing is hard. It's really, really hard, especially when you want something. It is not the easiest thing in the world. Shoot, we all got dreams. For you to achieve your dream, you have to change in some type of way. Something has to be stripped. Some things you have to let go. And we're just, we want to do things our own way, which is why we had the ability to make choices, or free will. So give them that ability. Now, 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14, it says, "Do not team up with those who are unbelievers. How can righteousness be partnered with wickedness? How can light live with darkness? What harmony can there be between Christ and the devil? How can a believer be a partner with a non-believer?" The Bible for sure says bad company corrupts good character. It talks in a bunch of different spots multiple times that, especially when you're one who believes in God and you follow God, that if you're light, what do you have in common with darkness? Now, when you're growing, there may be a light that shines off of you. People may see that and be drawn to it, especially if it's foreign to them. But because you changed, you're not responsible for other people's change. God can use you to plant seeds or to make seeds grow, but you're not responsible for other people's changes. So there may be people around you that you need to cut off, or you need to separate yourself. Y'all just go y'all separate ways for a period of time, and that's fine. They still have access to you. If they have questions, or if they want to reach out, I guarantee that if they reach out to you, you'll answer. You needed something from them, you'll reach out, they'll answer. But in terms of being up under and having that amount of access, when you start noticing things in people that don't align with how loving others should truly be, you just need to be the example at that point. You hanging around with non-believers, it may be foreign to them when you're on your purpose and you're just constantly seeking God, and you're just working and go grinding towards whatever you believe or whatever God has called you to do, or whatever you're doing. It may seem weird. Why is he not trying to hang with us anymore? Why is this person always working on this thing? Do they think they're too good for me? Like, stuff like that may come up in people's minds, not knowing that you're just on your purpose. This could probably be more of a wanting the presence of you, or loving the presence that you bring to situations, versus loving you truly. Let's say you wanted to make music, for example. If you wanted to make music, And I'm always constantly pulling you from music, wanting to just, because I ain't got nothing to do. I just want to chill, go out, party, and you want to make music. When are you going to have time to make music? Or that extra time that we're sinning, chasing women, drinking, shoot, all of that could have you miss the mark from what you were really supposed to be doing. No, there's nothing wrong with having fun or going out every now and again. Granted, it depends on what y'all actually are doing. But everything it's all about moderation. If somebody doesn't love themselves, how do you expect them to love other people the way they were meant to be loved? If you don't love yourself, it's going to be hard for you to love others the way that they were meant to be loved. And if whoever is showing love to you, if they don't know how to love themselves, it's going to be hard for them to show you the love the way that you were meant to receive it. Thank y'all for watching this video. Like this video, share this with somebody that you feel like can watch this. Till next time.